Take me out to the snack time. Take me out to the snack. It's snack time.
A few years ago, when Snackboy was starting out on his career on the road of his life, I did extra work for a movie called Major League 2. I was one of just about 1,000 people in the stands watching Charlie Sheen and the other actors, play ball. And it was a fun job because they fed you, but they fed you in kind of like a buffet dog food kind of fashion. And when you went back outside, you're kind of cold. The steam was coming out of your breath. But I had a very good reason to be in a good mood one night, because as I was extraing, I was in the stands, and I got kicked out of the stands with my friend Don and some other people to go stand on the field and stand near Charlie Sheen for a scene in the movie where all of us, like, fans run up and I guess ask him, or like congratulate him or whatever. So I'm standing there on the field, and they're taping where Charlie's going to stand, and I wasn't starstruck, but I thought it was kind of cool to meet Charlie Sheen, but I hadn't met him yet. Well, just because a person has money, just because a person is a star, does not mean that they're not obnoxious. Because I met Charlie Sheen, babies. I met Charlie Sheen. He came out of nowhere, and at the time I was wearing a cast because I'd been in Pirates of Penzance. I know what you're saying to yourself, Terry, why a cast? Why Pirates of Penzance? But you're probably not saying that at all. But it was because I had been on Pirates of Penzance. I broke my leg on stage, and I was wearing a cast. I was limping around the field for Major League 2, and Charlie Sheen comes out. And he has got more attitude than you can shake a stick at. In fact, if I had to put a visual to Charlie Sheen's attitude, I would say it was like a giant atomic bomb marshmallow that hovered above him. And he was hitting on all I don't want to get sued here. Let's just say the young ladies. So right when we're about to start shooting, he's playing with his pin cap, Charlie Sheen. And he's, kind of like he was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where, he's in the prison with Jennifer Grey. And he's playing with it, kind of like this. His hair's all messed up. And he looks down. Well, I don't want to say he looked down at me because he's pretty short. He's shorter than I was. He looked down, stopped playing with his cap, and he said, hey there. I said, hi, Charlie. And he said, I suppose you're going to want... I'm going to try to do my Charlie Sheen imitation. I suppose you're going to want me to sign that cast. And I looked in his eyes, and I saw the condescension. I said, no, thank you, Mr. Sheen. I don't want you to sign my cast. And then he turned around and started flirting with like an 11-year-old. I know what you're saying to yourself, Terry, it's Charlie Sheen. What wrong could he have done? Why would you speak so lowly of him? Well, I'll tell you why. And the next scene, it was up in the stands, and it was the last scene in the movie where he's picking up the girl, and he's going to spin her around and kiss her, and he's going to spin her. But to do so, he was a short guy, and there's nothing wrong with being short. I love Gary Coleman. But he had to stand on a box, Charlie Sheen did, because, the girl was taller. And so he's standing on the box, and a guy to the other side of me started laughing, snickering under his breath. Charlie looked over and thought it was me snickering at him, and he said, I want him removed. And I said, it wasn't me. And they were like, he said, he was snickering at me. He pointed right at yours truly. I said, oh, I'm not guilty. I'm not the criminal. I didn't snicker at Charlie. I said, Charlie, I did not snicker at you. I promise it wasn't me. But I didn't want to blab on the guy to my other side, but he wasn't speaking up. And they escorted me literally down the stairs away from Charlie as everyone in the stands looked at me like, you evil boy. How could you make fun of Charlie Sheen? I didn't. To this day, Charlie, if you're watching, yes, you're obnoxious. Yes, you flirted with girls younger than you should have. But I wasn't me. It snickered at you. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. And I would have gotten a good medium close-up shot right beside you kissing the girl and spinning. But now it's the snickering guy. Justice did not prevail, Charlie. And I'm taking you on Judge Judy.
Cut.